Welcome back to Focus Today. It's always a delight to have with us our good buddy Todd Friel. I just did a show on millennials. Now I'm going to do a show on whatever generation you want to call it. And he heads up Wretched TV, Wretched Radio. You can go to wretchedradio.com and you can watch him right here on the Dove Television Network, primetime weekdays. Hi, buddy.
Baby boomer. I think I'm a baby boomer. But Perry, I would like to point out a major difference between you and me. Right before we went on air, you held up a vessel to take a sip of water. Would you hold that up, please?
Yeah.
Look at that, the nice Dove mug.
You don't.
Here's my cup of water right here.
All right. Doug mugs in the mail coming to you.
You know,
how many?
Okay,
how many on your staff there in Atlanta?
Mugs.
Okay, huh?
I love mugs.
Okay.
I have like a weird obsession with mugs. Is that wrong?
Well, your face is kind of a mug.
This is what I bargained for.
Hey, listen. How many on your staff there in Atlanta?
350.
Okay. Well, I'll send you 2 mugs. You guys can all sip out of it. Hey, good to see you. A lot to talk to you about. Happy New Year, buddy. How you doing?
Thank you. Same to you. 2017, it's the year of something, according to the prosperity preachers. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, it's the year of the rooster.
You'll be rich, or it's always the year of something good. I just read an interesting article, Perry. It said 2017 might be the worst year of your life. Now, how does the Christian cope? How does the Christian not go into a panic or into depression when God might have some things planned that are pretty hard for us? Well,
can we start with faith?
Huge. In fact, that is the place to start. Consider what Jesus said in John 14:1. Don't be troubled. Put your faith, believe in God, believe in me. He said to the worrywarts that he was talking to in the Sermon on the Mount, "Oh, you of little faith." So if you're anxious, if you are troubled, you are feeling the weight of the world, good news, it's a faith issue. And let God grow your faith by the consuming of the word. The more faith, the less anxiety. You're spot on. Perry Noble. Perry Noble. It's called you Perry Noble.
No. No, don't do that. Hey, listen. I actually caught your show the other day, and like always, I'm amused. But did you write a book, Drive-By Biblical Counseling?
Yeah, no, it's not a book. It's an audio. It's about 15-minute long lectures, and it's an introduction to biblical counseling, which I think I understand your segue here.
Yeah.
Because there's a resurgence. There's been literally a reformation inside of the church over the last 40 years of people like Wayne Mack, Jay Adams. Their presupposition is the Bible is sufficient for emotional issues. Now, just to do a little quick caveat here, there can be a place for medicine and emotional issue. Can be. It's smaller than what we understand today, but that is valid. Mm-hmm. But for most emotional issues like anger, anxiety, lack of love, paranoia, whatever the issue is, the Bible is enough. And Drive-By Biblical Counseling introduces people to that world, because here's my contention, Perry. I think one of the big stories of 2016 was that Christians were backed off of the precipice of persecution. I think if this election had gone differently, I think we would have been like, woo, into 1 Peter world of persecution. I think we've been given a little bit of a relief from that. So maybe the church could look at it and say, we've got 4 years to boldly proclaim the gospel. And I think one of the most effective ways of doing that is by having a biblical counseling center in your church where you can announce to the world, do you have issues, strife in your family? Are you depressed? will help you for free. And they come and they hear the gospel because that's what biblical counseling centers on. I think it could be the most evangelistic opportunity we have because, Perry, you know this from looking at the headlines. People are hurting.
Yeah, it's interesting you'd say that, Todd, because as we kind of research the people who contact the Dove through all the various outreaches that we have, the number one topic people appreciate on the Dove radio and television network is apologetics, and that's where you come in. Number two is Christian counseling. In other words, there is such a desire for some kind of a biblical input to today's culture, and even Christians are surprised that the Bible would have something to say about it.
Yeah. Well, just, you know, this is so counterintuitive. What we were just talking about, let's use anxiety. Jesus said, don't be troubled. And the next thing he says, just secular counseling would say, don't be troubled. If you're worried about finances, here's a business card for a good financial advisor. Jesus doesn't do that. Instead, he diagnoses our anxiety issue as a faith problem. That's just mind-boggling, and it's so accurate because your emotions will be guided by what you believe, which informs your thinking, which informs your emotions. So if your emotions are wonky and they're wobbling off of the rails, you've got to go to the engine, which isn't thinking, it's faith first. And Jesus does this repeatedly with emotional issues to help us get to the center of ourselves. For instance, somebody who's a bully, you go, well, what's the biblical solution for that? The Bible diagnoses what's at the center of our heart. So somebody who's a bully, somebody who is intimidating all the time, somebody who gets really angry when they don't get their way. The Bible doesn't just say, well, stop being angry, think about a sunset, take a walk on the beach. It says, no, here's your issue. You don't get what you want, so you murder. The issue is, James 4, I want this, and I'm going to do whatever to get my thing. It's because I desire something that has a wrong perspective, but it doesn't stop there. The reason I want what I want is because I am the most important thing on the planet. Not God, not others, me. So the Bible diagnoses bullying and anger and pride and control as an idolatry issue. The problem is I'm believing in me, and Jesus wants to take that and say, I've got a better solution. Have me in the center of your world, and you'll no longer insist on your own way. You're going to serve others, and you won't be angry because you'll never feel slighted because you won't think that you're deserving of something better. So the Bible just rocks when it comes to applying theology to emotions.
All right, boy, you're hitting on a lot of cylinders here, Todd. One of the things that, let me flip over and kind of do a little bit of a counter thought to this. Uh-oh, where'd he go?
Hold on.
Where'd you go?
Wait a second. Hold on. I gotcha. I just found 2 books.
Uh-oh. Oh, Stressed Out. Yeah, that's his latest book. You can go to wretchedradio.com and get that. Oh, the Bible.
No, this isn't a Bible. I don't know if you can read the print reel. Is that too close?
Back off a little bit. Oh, The Valley of Vision. Okay.
Have you ever used this?
No.
Okay, Perry, I'm just going to guess. Maybe you're a little bit like me. Don't panic at that. But your mind wanders when you pray?
Oh,
or
no,
you find yourself being a little stagnant in your prayers?
Not a problem with me.
These are Puritan prayers, and they are probing. They make you feel really terrible. They put you in a valley, if you will, so that when you look up at the sun, it shines brighter. So it's the valley of vision. You see things more clearly. The lower you go, the higher God is. And these are prayers that will just guide your brain theologically to concentrate and focus. It's really an outstanding book, The Valley of Vision.
Valley of Vision. All right, let me come back to a little bit on this biblical counseling. I'm trying to figure out how to frame this question. You and I have both probably been involved in some lay counseling position where they are trying to pass by the sin without repentance.
Yeah.
They're trying to move past the problem without confession.
Yeah.
And James chapter 5 is pretty clear on this, that if, and I'm paraphrasing this, that after you have confessed your faults one to another, next line, then you will be healed. Are we trying to fix people with biblical theology without confession?
No. You know, just to be clear, there is a difference between Christian counseling and biblical counseling. Christian counseling is, it could be an integrationist model, so some secular Freudian, whatever, Rogerian school, whatever psychology, with the Bible. That tends to be more of what is called Christian counseling versus biblical counseling, which is using nothing but the Bible to apply it to our issues. And you are spot on. When James talks about that, you confess your sins, you feel better. Isn't it true? Consider the psalmist. David, I think it's Psalm 31, 32, and then 90, and what's like 4 times. He talks about, my bones are wasting away. I'm sick, I'm heavy, because I had not confessed my sins. So if we want to help people not feel sick, and Perry, this could literally be like physical, like, oh, I never have any energy. I ache, I'm exhausted. It could be because of unconfessed sin. And the counselor who wants to bypass sin to make somebody feel good is getting the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Talk about the sin, because the Bible is all about dealing with sin. And we have a Savior, and we have grace, and we have a Holy Spirit that can help. So if you're going to do biblical counseling, it does have to include sin, but Perry, it also has to include the glory of God, why we're doing this, not so that you can get over your anger or emotional issue, but so that you can glorify God better because you love him more. And that gives the incentive. I just want to love God more so I consume his word, and he changes me and fixes me and heals me. Biblical counseling must include the glory of God, and as you rightly said, dealing with sin.
All right, let me take a quick break here. Todd Friel's with us, Wretched TV, Wretched Radio. You can go to wretchedradio.com, check out the book and the audio series. The book, Stressed Out, and the audio series of Drive-By Biblical Counseling. There you go. All right, let me take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.
Welcome back to Focus Today, and delighted to have back with us our good buddy Todd Friel. He heads up Wretched Radio, Wretched TV, and you can see Wretched TV here on the Dove Television Network Thursday evenings at 8 o'clock, and of course sometimes throughout the day you'll see him as well. Whenever we have to fill with something funny. Hey, I got to tell you, though, I ran into one of your 3 fans, and and he said this, who is that Friel guy? And I said, oh, Todd. He goes, oh, yeah, I don't know whether to hug him or boot him.
Yeah, I know. I get that. We've been described as a rash. It's annoying, but it kind of grows on you. Yeah. I'm not sure that was a compliment.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Hey, listen, coming back to so many things, January is Life Month, and I know that you share with me a great passion about the life issue, and especially the life of the unborn. And you have done some great production of series on that. How do you think it's going as we look for an opportunity to persuade pro-choicers who might see their largest agency defunded? What do you think?
I'm so excited about that. I got to tell you, I'm so excited. Don't be confused by the numbers that the pro-choicers sling. Planned Parenthood gets money from you and me, and they will say, well, it doesn't go toward abortions. It goes toward all of our other services. Well, the majority of their services are abortion. But the term fungible applies to a business, that the money, if I don't have to spend money on this, I can use it over here, or if I don't have to spend money on this, I can use it over there. If money from the government supposedly is going to their other women's services, that means they've got more money for abortion. So no matter how you slice it, our money is going toward the intentional taking of an innocent human life. So this is what we've been trying to do, Perry. Sorry for sneaking in a plug. Somewhere around here, I've got Life is Best. We did a 13-episode TV series.
We aired it
with
twice.
Scott. Yeah. Did you watch it? Any of it?
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Okay, be honest.
I loved it.
I don't want you to
no, listen, I watched that, and we've actually run highlights of it, Todd, in various times because of the content. But, man, it's spot on. It's absolutely spot on.
So good. So this here, sorry for sneaking in the plug. We're giving it away on our website for a gift. So go to our website if you want to get it. It's a 13-episode series with a study guide. And to give you just a little whet your appetite, trotting out your toddler is one of the things that we teach. To trot out your toddler is to simply apply the statement of the pro-choicer to a 2-year-old. So if a pro-choicer says, well, a lot of women, if they have a baby, it's going to make their lives very, very hard. And we grant that. That's very possible, financially, emotionally, all of the challenges. We get that. But let me ask you this, my pro-choice friend. If a mother approached you with her 2-year-old and said, you know, this is financially difficult, I'd like to kill it, would you be okay with that? Undoubtedly. Any sane person would say, well, of course not. So the question then becomes, not can we kill it, but what is it? We know a toddler is a whole innocent human being. The question is, what is inside of the womb? And the answer is scientifically, logically, philosophically, and theologically, most important, it is a human being knit together in the womb as an image bearer of God. And we can't kill toddlers. We can't kill babies in the womb. That's what we try to teach in Life is Best.
Well, you've done an excellent job. And let's say our viewers and listeners, you can go to wretchedradio.com and support Todd and then maybe get a copy of that series. It would make a great series in a Bible class or a Sunday school class. Hey, you know what's interesting about that? I don't see it very often, but I did catch one of the episodes of Dr. Oz the other day, and he was talking about pregnancy. And there on his full big screen that he had on his television set, he showed this pregnant gal with the baby in the womb, and I'm going, wow. I'm watching this, and I go, how are you going to explain this away? Of course, he was talking about all the other things going on through pregnancy, but there it was, a baby in the womb.
You know who else does a good job of that, celebrating life in the womb? Pampers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in their Target demo anymore, but, well, maybe pretty soon. But the point is that Pampers, they're always celebrating life and the joy. You've got a special package coming. So salute to Pampers and even to Dr. Oz for showing what is inside of the mother's womb. And I would say this, Perry. As we look in 2017 with the hope that Mike Pence will be right, that Roe v. Wade ends up on the ash heap of history, there's actually something we can all do to make that happen. Imagine if everybody in this country were pro-life. First of all, Roe v. Wade wouldn't matter because people wouldn't want to get an abortion. But if the overwhelming majority is pro-life, that's going to influence what happens with legislation and even Supreme Court rulings. And so you and I can play our part by becoming pro-life ambassadors, not jerks, not just pointing a finger and saying you're killing your baby and you're going to hell. That's not the Christian message. We're ambassadors for life. And Perry, I actually think if we Christians saw that mission, I think I could change Roe v. Wade really fast.
Something's happening here, Todd. I don't know if you caught Senator Sessions' testimony yesterday. He was being asked by California Senator Dianne Feinstein about the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and do you still stand behind that statement? He said, yes, I do, because I think the law was unconstitutional. But he did go on to say, since it is the law of the land, I will uphold that law. But he got his plug in that it's unconstitutional and he doesn't like it. I mean, something's brewing here that could be really positive for the pro-life issue.
Yeah, you know, Donald Trump seems to be kind of getting it worked out. He's not entirely pro-life because he has exceptions for rape and incest, which brings us back to the question, what is it? It doesn't matter the method of conception. The question is, what is it? So tenderly, lovingly, we say, just because one crime was committed, doesn't mean we commit an even worse crime against a whole innocent human being. But I think with Mike Pence being there, with a number of these guys that are being heralded as Christians, and oh, Perry, you like this. I just read a statistic, something like 90-some% of Congress and senators in the next the next batch, they identify as Christian. Now, look, we all get that can mean a lot, but wouldn't you prefer that than a lot of secularists? I think it's kind of encouraging. I think you're right.
Oh, it's wonderful. Listen, I got about 3 minutes left. What's in the future for Wretched Television for 2017? What's God telling you?
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'll tell you, there's two things that we're looking at, Harry, and one is that Life is Best series that you graciously mentioned at our site. We'd like to turn that into a weekly series so that every week we understand how to defend life and proclaim the gospel, that there's forgiveness of sins for women and men who have participated in abortions, that you can be made whole, and that you can have the joy of knowing you're going to see your baby someday in heaven, because I believe that's precisely where aborted and miscarried children go. So we want to be proclaiming that message every week. The second show that we'd like to produce is, I know this has been done before, but a biblical counseling marriage show. How to help two sinners look more like Jesus Christ. Those are the two biggies that we're kind of looking at.
Oh, that's wonderful. I got to tell you, the need is there. I believe the appetite's there, and given it from the perspective that you approach your apologetics, I think it'll be very successful, and I just want to encourage you to go for it, man.
Can I sneak in something here, Perry?
Yeah.
If you're watching the Dove Network, you need to understand it's a unique gem. I'm quite familiar with the Christian TV networks that exist, and there are others that are very fine, make no mistake about it, but they are the exception. The rule overall, unfortunately, with the big Christian networks, it's very poor. And what we want to do here at Wretched is create more good Christian programming to just push those things out of the way. And without people like the Dove Network, I'm telling you, it would be a barren wasteland. So if you can support the Dove Network and you like watching it, we need to get behind good Christian media.
Thank you, Todd. I value that greatly. We too have some great opportunities in front of us for 2017 of expanding into a couple of big markets.
Really?
And so we'll see what God does with it. It hasn't all come together yet, but we are working on it. I want to say to you and your crew, thank you, bud, for what you do. I know you have 350 people. I'm going to try to at least send you 3 mugs.
Yeah. Then next time I'll have it, and so we can plug the Dove Network that people are already watching.
Yeah, there you go.
Perry, this is not to be a mutual smooch fest here, but thank you for what you do, because I know how hard you work behind the scenes.
Thank you, buddy. God bless you. See you next time, huh? See you later. All right, Todd Friel, Wretched TV. Go to wretchedradio.com. Support his ministry. While you're there, check out the Life series, and they'll send it to you. Make a great study for you, your family, or maybe even your Sunday school class. We'll see you next time on Focus Today.